everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aligned Heart. This is Misty Springer, and I am happy to be here with you all today. I have been in the presence and the gift and the slowness of summer, and it's been absolutely glorious. We've had multiple vacations and time with family and time to just let the busyness of the school year rest for a little bit and really be focused intentionally on building different connections with family, connections with God, connections with myself, and really being focused on what it is that I am creating and what I am here to create for all of you in service to my clients. And one of the things that has been present on my mind is transformation. What is transformation? How does it work? How do I access transformation? And by transformation, I mean growth. I mean showing up as the best version of yourself. I mean being proactive and loving your spouse unconditionally, showing up present with your children instead of reverting back to yelling, being in your body and feeling comfortable in your skin, feeling like you are doing the work God designed for you and using your spiritual gifts in a way that feels meaningful and purposeful in your life. Feeling that you have an increased capacity to hold all that you are being asked to hold in a way that feels peaceful and calm and grounded instead of frantic and overworked. This is what I mean by transformation. It's not adding more to your list. It's being more present, more grounded, more alive in the life that you're already living and feeling the feeling of enough, living in the gratitude of having instead of wanting, feeling the desire to be more while at the same time living in absolute joy and awe and wonder at the miracles that are already present in your life, being satisfied with what is here and also knowing there's more. This is what I mean by transformation. How do we access this? It is what we are here for. I believe that we are in a constant state of progression. We want to progress. It's in our very spiritual DNA to continue wanting to be more and grow and expand, and also be fully present with where we're at. And so as I have been contemplating this idea of transformation, I had 2 sessions today with clients that were very profound and meaningful, and I wanted to highlight a couple of the key concepts that were the keys to transformation. The first client came to me and said, I have done a lot of work, and this work that I've been doing with you for the last couple of months has been life-changing. And that's something I take very, it lands very deeply in my heart. I receive it with all humility, and I also return all thanks to God, and that the transformation that she is receiving is a beautiful gift of transformation that she is accessing because she is finding the answers within herself. That I get to be a guide and a facilitator to teach her how to access the answers that are already there. And one of the things that we talked about, because she asked this question, how can this be? How is it that I'm experiencing a greater level of presence with my kids? That I feel like I have more time in my day? That the things that used to feel like controlling and the fear that ran my life, and the fear of not being enough, the fear of of making a mistake, the fear of what was going to happen with my kids and being out of control and not feeling safe. How is it that I can feel a sense of calm and peace and groundedness that has changed everything for me? I'm more fully in love with my husband. I have more presence and time with my kids. I feel less anxious. I feel like I have more capacity to show up in my spiritual gifts. How can this be? And so, what we talked about today, and what I want to bring to all of you, is that what she discovered was that she was able to tap into a knowing in her body that was greater than trying to figure it out in her brain. We talked about the difference between the fight between her body and her brain was not there. That for a long time she had felt like she was trying to think positively, trying to make sense of the anxiety, trying to fix the problem in her head using positive thoughts and affirmations and just think positively and you've got this, and all of the words that she was trying to logic her way into a new way of being. And she felt like she was fighting against herself, like her head was trying to tell her body something that her body really didn't believe. And what we have done is used a bottom up approach versus a top down. Now, what I mean by that, a top down approach is I'm going to try to change my thoughts. I'm going to just think positively. I'm just going to logic, like I'm going to just look at my thoughts and logic my way into a new way of being. And yes, that's important and that's helpful and that works to a degree. But what we have been working on instead is what I call a bottom up approach. That's where she is literally changing the experience that she's having in her body. She's learning to feel safe in her body. She's learning to look at the emotions that she's having and learning from them, turning towards them with compassionate attention and learning how to see them through the lens of compassionate curiosity, letting that part of her know that all parts of me are welcome here. And as she has turned towards her body, listening to her body, listening to the wisdom that is within her body, it has allowed her to feel a greater sense of peace and safety in her body, to access healing. It's like uncovering a deep wound and bringing this festering wound out of the dark, damp, and musty place into the light where it can be healed. That's what she has been doing. That as she has been turning up the volume on this first voice inside of her, the truth of who she is, accessing the truth of who she is, this knowing that is so complete and deep within her body. When she's turned up the volume on that voice, that can really, it's accessed in your body in a place that is, it knows more than your mind can comprehend. A knowing in your body is deeper than any thought. It's more true than any logic. It feels something different. When you access the truth of who you are, that first voice, When you turn the volume up on that first voice and allow safety for that voice to be heard, your whole life shifts. When you turn up the first voice, the volume on the first voice, and then you turn down the volume on the second voice in your brain, the second voice of noise, the noise of uncertainty and doubt and fear and confusion, and all of these patterns of protection that have been built up for years and years and years. When you allow the voice of the second voice to be turned down and the voice of the first voice, the first voice to turn up, that's when you move forward and create transformation. That's when you bring that festering wound out of the dark and into the light to be healed. And so how do we do this? It's through compassionate noticing. When you allow yourself to just be, when you are in a space of just being heard and seen, there's something deeply healing about that. Carl Rogers, who was a psychotherapist and has a long-standing history of theory in psychotherapy, says the most important thing is unconditional positive regard. That when someone can feel unconditional positive regard, it creates a healing environment. And yet, how often do we offer that to ourselves? How often do we give all parts of us unconditional positive regard, unconditional loving attention? When we can look at all parts of ourselves and say, all of you is welcome here. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it is a part of my human experience. When I can love what is as part of my human experience, that is when I create a healing environment, a space where all of me can be present, where all of me can be heard. This is the space of growth and healing. One thing that has been powerful as I have worked with my clients is allowing them to see the truth of who they are. We do that through accessing their higher self, by creating a vision of who they truly are at the core, the truth of who they are. We do that by listening with attention and positive regard to all the emotions that are in their body, learning what each part has to teach, how it has something to offer, that everything here is in favor and for your good. We do that by opening up a pathway to allow God to speak to their heart, showing them who they truly are in a way that can't be explained through words. And through all of that, answers are found. When I take a client through a session, it is a journey of discovery, of exploration, of understanding. It's me, the client, and the client's truth, their body, their heart, their spirit that is speaking truth to the client's mind and soul. This is where transformation happens. This is not something that I can do alone or the client can do alone. It is a co-creation between the client, me, and God. That this co-creation is what creates transformation. There is a beautiful connection, a trifecta of power and enlightenment that comes when we lean into the body and the heart, not just the mind. It's why I have constantly talked about the connection between mind, body, and heart. All three are needed in the transformative process. If we just focus on the mind, we're missing the other two legs of the stool and we're going to topple. In order to create lasting transformation, we have to focus on all three legs of the stool: mind, body, and heart. And that is exactly what we do in the sessions in a very powerful and beautiful way. I'm grateful for the work that I get to do. I'm honored to be a single part in this trifecta. It fills me with a deep sense of gratitude. I walk away every day from meeting with my clients in awe of the miracles that has transpired. I too step away and ask, how does this happen? These life-changing results that many of my clients have been searching for years and years are found when they get still, when they come home to themselves, when they start listening with compassionate curiosity, when they open up their heart and their body to know the truth rather than just create something different in their mind. I'm grateful to be here with all of you. We're going to experience a little bit of this in the meditation that accompanies this. We're going to access your transformative power. I do hope you'll join me. Please hop over to the meditation that accompanies this. And as always, if you know of someone who could use a little bit more stillness, a little bit more connection with themselves, please share. Like, subscribe, follow. It allows this to get out to all the people in the world that need this. Thanks for being here, friends. See you next time.